Well, good morning. It is the 25th, Monday, the 25th of June, broadcasting from the road. Just looking at the markets this morning, we have from overnight, last night on Sunday, and actually probably on Saturday too, the U.S. has, as some feared, stepped up the trade sanction talk against China. Now it's involving limiting China's ability to invest in companies that we propose causes a threat against security for this country. That's defense. That's defense stock. Different types of stocks that would in some way or another affect our security. So it is something that has caused a sell-off, not a dramatic sell-off, but a sell-off in agricultural markets. And across the board, as we look at global stock markets, all global stock markets are down. As I said, the commodity markets are down. And it's just something that we're, I guess, trying to get used to. We're not looking dramatically lower this morning, but we are lower, and we'll look at that in just a second. Let's just take a quick look at the cotton market. Right now down 19 in December at 85.11, a high of 86.22, a low of 84.82. November soybeans down 8.5, trading at 907 3/4. That market got 5 cents lower than that overnight. It was at 902.5 at one point, a high of 920.5. December corn down 2 3/4 at 375 1/4, a high of 380 3/4, a low of 372 3/4. September wheat down 10.5, 493 3/4, a high of 503 3/4, a low of 491 3/4. Crude oil up 54 cents a barrel. That's probably the lone exception to these markets. Dollar down 17, gold unchanged, silver down 3 cents, and the S&P futures index is down 12. Not as low as you might think, but it is lower. It's just something that's we've never had to deal with in our markets. An open discussion for trade sanctions, threats that come back and forth, affect these markets. If these escalate, we're going to continue to work lower. If we come out with some type of an agreement, then these markets can move dramatically higher, mainly because they've dropped so low. Cotton market trading where it's trading right now at around 85 in December. I'm not sure it ever would have gotten under 89 to 90 if it were not for this, just based on the weather. So since that time, the weather's continued to show in West Texas, no real relief, and we're starting to be able to look at this crop and see that as far as dryland goes, for all practical purposes, it's not there. Some irrigated cotton in West Texas also has been declared by insurance adjusters no crop. So that's really what we're waiting on. I think that the cotton market in December, if this thing escalates, can drop, and can even drop toward 80 cents. If they work this out, I think we can eventually work our way, adding back in and being able to pay attention to weather again. We can move back into the mid-90s. So you're talking about a 15-cent range of valuation this market could see over the next 2 weeks. Those kinds of swings, very dangerous. If you're in this market, it's uncomfortable no matter where you are. But that's the world we're facing right now. We'll try to stay on top of this. We'll try to be able to come back on. As anything changes, this might be the only broadcast on the day. We'll see. Anyway, that is it for the day, probably. Have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.